Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check it off, because we make getting vaccinated easy. You've got this, because we've got you. To learn more, visit yougotthis.usaging.org.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hi everybody, I'm Doc Hamels and welcome to another edition of Chautauqua Sunrise. Hope you're all doing well. The weather has shaped up somewhat. Last week, I think it was, I announced that we had a 4-season week. Remember, we had like snow and rain and everything else. Well, I finally got the pontoons off my tractor and we hayed my my grass. It was like 9 inches high or something like that. And I know a lot of other people have been trying to catch up on the yard work. And by the end of the day, are you exhausted too? It's like we're trying to squeeze all the work that we wanted to do all winter long in, as soon as the sun shines and dries off. I do. Justin, how about you? You been cutting grass over there in Jamestown?
We did.
You did, huh? I got one.
Huh? My father and I did
the father-son deal. Speaking of father-son, guess what, everybody? I just found out that it's 2 birthdays coming up. Happy birthday. Let's see, I got, your dad is on the 10th, and you're going to be on May 11th. Our 511th show is on your birthday. What are we going to do? Anyway, see how easy that was to announce a birthday? So if you are listening or watching right now live, you can give us a call at 716-753-5225. Watch, you're going to pop this banner up here in a second. It's like a telethon. Ready, set, go, Chris. Ready, set, go. There it is. And you can email me throughout the week at chautauquasunrise@gmail.com, and we'll get your community announcements on. So while we're thinking about all that, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So if you are in Mayville, it's like 9:04. If you are, let's see, here we go. In Germany, it's 3 in the afternoon. If you are in Kiev, Natalia, good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock over there. And if you're in Australia watching this, it's tomorrow. Okay, so I also want to say good afternoon to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, Low Power to the People. in Jamestown, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. So thanks for joining us. We were just remarking that we've been together now for over 9 years, our good friends over there in Jamestown, and everything we do here we hope is important to all of you over there as well, because we're all one county. It's, you know, I know that we're like, I don't know, 25 minutes apart, but it's just, we're not that big. So anyways, we try to incorporate everything that's going on in the county to include everybody in the county. All right, what else I got here? This is that time of year where I noticed that a lot of people are showing up from other parts of the country that are opening up their cottages, getting ready for Memorial Day weekend and all that good stuff. So if you're coming back to Chautauqua County, welcome back. Glad to have you. And if this is your first time in Chautauqua County and you're visiting, welcome. So we here at Chautauqua Sunrise cover all sorts of topics. And probably I would say today and next week we are going to be featuring and putting our attention on mental health awareness in our county, the services that are available, and talking about some topics that might be a little uncomfortable because we have a tendency as people is to hide things, and that's not very cool. And we want to be able to let you know that if you know people that need services or you need services, you might think about what we're going to be talking about today and next week. Okay? So let's see what else I have. Okay, so I've been told that today is May 4th, so may the 4th be with you. I had to get that in for Matt. He's sitting in the wings to come on the show. It's our Star Wars time. I'm sure they're probably running all those on cable TV. All right, so I have some announcements to make, because I want to get lots of time for my guests to talk about the important work that they're doing. So, Chris, if you're ready, I'm ready. Slide 15, here we go. We're going to go to Jamestown. There we go. All right, Infinity's Pearl City Clay House location is hosting several classes and workshops in clay, fabric arts, and contemporary crafts during the month of May. A new beginner 4-week pottery wheel class will begin. I've always wanted to do that, as well as a variety of quick clay classes. Say that 10 times fast, Justin. Family experiences and other contemporary crafts. Walk-in hours in the Paint Your Own Pottery Studio are available during business hours, including new hours from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can go to, all one word, Pearl City Clayhouse, that's all one word, .org, and click on the programming tab and get in there and you can get scheduled. All right, let's see what else we got here. You can join Deb for tea in a craft every Thursday each week. They will provide some tea and biscuits and a small craft project that can be finished in an hour. That's kind of like my style. There will be hand sewing, paper crafts, and mixed media projects, to name just a few. I've seen pictures of some of these things, and it's like, how did you do that? It's really cool stuff. Then, listen to this. Clay with Renee. Tricky. May 10, 17, 24, 31, from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. This is an open-ended hand-building workshop. Have a cute thing saved on your Pinterest? Is that Pinterest? Or just want to get a little muddy? Join Renee on Friday nights and get creative. Then they have a 6-week beginner wheel class, and it starts today from, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it's weekly through June 8. Learn the basics, wedging, centering, opening, and pulling a cylinder, along with trimming and glazing. These sessions will focus on the elements you need to control the clay, and the goal is for every student to come away with a functional product fit for purpose. Classes run on Saturday mornings from 6 weeks from May 4th to June 8th. I think the key word there was controlling the clay. I can just see myself. Woo! Intuitive painting, May 4th, starting today through the 25th. Four different days. 1:30 to 3:30. Want to up your mixed media game? Want to inject energy into your abstraction, into your painting? Or do you just want to learn to paint freely with emotion? Join Deb in the craft studio to experiment with collages and acrylics in this intuitive painting class. All right, moving along. Also, Infinity announces 4th annual Ultimate Adventure Challenger fundraiser. All right, Infinity and Performing Arts 4th annual Infinity's Ultimate Adventure Challenge will begin a couple days ago and run through the end of the year. This project is an outdoor recreation challenge that combines elements of traditional hiking challenge with arts-filled scavenger hunt. How fun would that be? There are 2 ways to participate. One, the local challenge features locations within a 30-mile radius of Jamestown, and I think that probably covers the entire county. Registered participants are given a list of hiking trails, outdoor art installations, and public spaces to visit where they search for specific landmarks and upload selfies for credits. Very cool. Get you outdoors. Get the kids out with you. All right, let's go on to the reg, Chris. Slide 16. All right, here we go. This is where I get tongue-tied. A 1920s English seaside town bears witness to a farcical and occasionally sinister scandal in this riotous mystery comedy based on a stranger than fiction true story. Wicked Little Letters, showing May 8th at 7, follows 2 neighbors, deeply conservative local Edith Swan and rowdy Irish migrant Rose Gooding, sounds like my grandmother, when Edith and fellow residents begin to receive wicked letters full of unintentionally hilarious profanities. Foul-mouthed Rose is charged with the crime. The anonymous letters prompt a national uproar and a trial ensues. However, as the town's women, led by police officer Gladys Moss, begin to investigate the crime themselves, they suspect that something is amiss. And Rose may not be the culprit after all. Wicked Little Letters is rated R, and it's 100 minutes long. Then, I can't wait to see this one. In Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. May 11th, the Spangler family returns to where it all started, the iconic New York City firehouse, to team up with the original Ghostbusters, who've developed a top secret research lab to take busting ghosts to the next level. But when the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an army of ghosts that casts a death chill upon the city. It's always that. There's always something ancient. Ghostbusters, new and old, must join forces to protect their home and save the world from yet a second ice age. The Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is PG-13. It's 116 minutes long. I just saw the second one they had, the new version. It was really a lot of fun to watch. Okay, then upcoming movies. What is this? Monsterverse film, Godzilla versus Kong, The New Empire. Seems like every 6 months there's a new Kong movie. Saturday, May 18th, okay? Tickets are $7 and family films are $6, additional $1 for restoration fees, of course. Give them a call at 484-7070 and get your tickets. Okay, my friends at Prevention Works. They got one of these mark your calendar kind of things. It's called Hope and Healing Conference of Western New York for June 6th, 2024. Hope and Healing Conference is going to be at the Chautauqua Harbor Hotel. Okay, let me tell you just a little bit about it. The Hope and Healing Conference of Western New York is a premier event dedicated to addressing the complex needs in mental health and chemical dependency. This event is a cornerstone in celebrating prevention, treatment, and recovery successes with Chautauqua County and the wider region. Okay, so it's June 6th from 8:30 to 3 at the Chautauqua Harbor Hotel, and it's called the hopeandhealingconference.com. All right, and I'm going to tell you one more thing, and then we're going to move on. The conference is set to feature keynote speaker Laura Stack, champion of youth substance abuse prevention, and founder and CEO of Johnny's Ambassadors Youth, THC Prevention. Laura, who is also Johnny Stack's mother, will share her personal journey and insights into the importance of education and preventative measures in youth behavioral health. So if you want to check that out, go to, what did I say? Hope and Healing Conference, that's all one word, hopeandhealingconference.com, and register. 8:30 to 3 on June 6th. All right, then we got just 3 more things here. Bemis is blooming, okay? It started yesterday, but it's today and tomorrow. Visit Bemis Point, and they welcome you back. Many of the seasonal businesses, a few things to enjoy. The Books and Brews Bemis Point Library fundraiser on Friday at Ellicottville Brewing on Chautauqua. Cinco de Mayo, which is tomorrow, right? Specials at our restaurants, Guppy's Restaurant and Tavern, and kicking off their month-long Mexican Madness. Woo. Okay, then they have, I see there are a few people are doing this, Kentucky Derby Fun, including a party at the Bemis Point Golf Club and Tap House. Open houses on Saturday at the Lawson Center, they have boats there, and the Bemis Point Historical Society. And of course, there's lots of spring shopping. So if you want to learn more about what's going on at Bemis Point, go to bemispoint, all one word, .com. Interested in this one? Listen, join ornithologists on the west side of the Audubon Community Nature Center. Wait a minute, May 18th, because one's already done. Weather permitting, watch how they capture migrating and resident birds, fit them with identification bands, measure, weigh, and release them. Bird banding is an established technique used to discover details about the behaviors of birds. You can drop in anytime between 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. to learn from the ornithologist exactly how it's done and why. If weather is too harsh for the safety of the birds, the nets are not opened and the alternate date is chosen, which is May 18th. So if you're interested, check that out at the Audubon Community Nature Center. And if you're a birder like me, I used to keep a log for years, and the birds all come back about within like 3 days of every year. You know, whether it's May 5th, here come the grosbeaks or whatever, and it's really cool. All right, the Marvin House Kentucky Derby today at 5 p.m. They invite you to join them today to celebrate their 3rd annual Kentucky Derby party. They'll watch, not me, we'll watch the race live from Churchill Downs, the world's most legendary racetrack, which has conducted thoroughbred racing and presented America's greatest race, the Kentucky Derby, continuously since 1875. They'll enjoy traditional Kentucky Derby foods, which will be served during the racing events. The Marvin House will provide the food, and the infamous mint juleps, games, entertainment, and tour prizes will take place before and after the race. And there will be a beautifully decorated derby hat. Oh, there will be beautifully decorated derby hats for sale. Okay, price per person is $45 for one, or two for $80. All guests must be 21 or and older. Reservations are required. So if you're listening right now and you want to participate, give them a call at 488-6206. Again, 488-6206 if you want to go to the Marvin House Kentucky Derby. And finally, this is a leftover from last week, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. Today, another Kentucky Derby party is going to be at the Mayville VFW, and you are going to join the Mayville Lions Club as they do their Kentucky Derby party at 5:30, and they're going to have all kinds of fun food and have a great time. So that's it for right now. We're going to be right back. This break is for you.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Okay, we're back, and I want to start things out with, I got an email out of the clear blue and said, could we be on your show? We got this really cool thing going on about mental health. And I said, sure, I'm always willing to talk about things like this. So Judy Wroda is welcome to the show. This is the first time we've met.
Yes, it is.
So this should be interesting, because then you get to put up with me for the next 40 minutes and 46 seconds. So welcome to the show. And Judy, tell me, what agency are you with and so on?
I'm with Southwestern Independent Living Center in Jamestown, and we assist persons with disabilities in the county. And with my job, though, I assist everyone in the county. So from birth to elders, they don't have to have a disability. There's no income limits or age limits, anything like that. So I have the unique opportunity to get to interact with everyone in the county who calls and needs
Holy
some
cow,
assistance.
you're a busy person then.
I'm very busy, yes.
There's like 100 million people of us here. Well, good for you. How long have you been with the agency?
Almost 9 years now.
Okay, all right, great.
Yes.
And today's topic is going to be what?
Today we're going to be talking about how we are trying to bring service providers and assistance in medical health to the more rural areas of Chautauqua County. And the reason we're trying to do that is because a lot of people in the rural areas don't have transportation, or there are other barriers, and they can't get to appointments, and they can't get their mental health help, they can't get their physical care, they can't get dental help. So we're trying to start an initiative where we bring that help to them and make sure that they do live their lives to the fullest possible.
You know, I have sat, I don't know, in how many different think tanks and brainstorming sessions in the county over the years, and when we boiled it down, almost always 2 things would pop up: childcare and transportation.
Yes. Yep.
Everybody's nodding. So, and it's still persisting. But I think in some cases it's gotten better. But the COVID pandemic kind of crushed everything, didn't it?
It did.
You brought some folks with you, so
I'll
let you introduce each person, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead.
I brought Miss Jane Stamler. She is from Prime Care. And then I also have Melanie Ulinger from Brockton Central School and Matt Hanley from the Chautauqua Center.
Okay, and so why are they with you?
They are with me today because the Chautauqua Center stayed with me from the beginning of my symposium, which instigated everything that's happening now. And then Melanie Ulinger is here because Brockton Central School is the one who let me invade their territory and start setting this up, and they've been great supporters of the events every year and of making sure that the people in the more rural area there get assistance through programs that I start and everything. And Jane's coming because she is one of the service providers that come, and we'd like to have a perspective from her on how this has helped them and how they feel they've been able to help the communities, the rural areas in the county also.
Okay, so you said this started with a symposium?
It started with a symposium.
How long ago was that?
That was back in 2018, but the reason the symposium came was because in 2017 Brockton School invited me to come to a health fair, and there was about 12 service providers there, and we were playing games with the kids and stuff. But parents were asking a lot of questions, and some of the school staff didn't know how to answer those questions because they weren't sure where the services were. So I talked with them a little bit, and they said, well, why don't we have you get some people together and see what happens. So we took over the cafeteria the next year, and we had 25 service providers that came. And so with those service providers, the teachers and staff at the school were able to come and visit with everyone and learn about services that were out there. On that first one, we just had all the service providers came up and they spoke a little bit about what they do, and then they kind of sat back down. So it was maybe 5 minutes tops, and everybody got to share. And then we just visited with parents and children and stuff. Well, that eventually grew within the next couple of years. More and more service providers were coming, so then we were sitting up in the hallways and the cafeteria. And so, yeah, we kind of spilled out, and then we took over the auditorium. We started having more of a symposium atmosphere where we had lecturers come in. We've had lecturers come in from out of state. We've had lecturers come in from Albany. We've had lecturers that are local, but they all share experiences and information that is helpful to the communities. This symposium, I set it up so that it is free. It has to be free because people do not have the extra cash anymore to attend things. So the service providers come and they set up for free because Brockton School allows them to come in and do this, and we do take over the school for the day. And then there's no charge for people to come in at all. So with that given, all the speakers know that they have to come in and speak for free. And that one year we had, I believe, 5 physicians from the Chautauqua Center came in and spent the day with us, and they did not get paid. So everything is done for free so that we can reach the rural populations and they can reach us and we can assist them with everything that they need.
You know, I'm going to go say this as a flat statement. Having lived in this county, I think for 50 years now, I know I don't look that old. Well, if I do, don't say so. Okay. But I have found that living in Chautauqua, people are just generous with their time. If you ask, they give. They will. But you got to do the ask. And people say, well, why didn't you ask me? You know, that sort of thing. So I'm heartened to hear that I'm correct on that.
You are.
And,
you are.
You know, people want people to be healthy and happy and have a great county. This is a great county. You know, it's just wonderful. So, all right. So, mobile unit. I don't. Is it a truck? What is it?
Yes, a mobile medical unit. So this kind of morphed over the years into getting more and more services available to everyone. And the Chautauqua Center started this, so it's all their fault because they got a mobile unit, and I was going, well, Matt, if you have a mobile unit, can we bring it to the symposium and let people at least know that there's something out there? And he said, sure. So they brought it and they parked it, and everybody's like, what is this? Just like you. And we're explaining to them, this is a mobile medical unit. And so his was the first. So then it kind of grew. I was going, well, if they have one, well, why doesn't everybody have one? You know, I thought, why not? But then you sit there and you look at the cost and you go, oh, that's why. So, yeah.
Reality hit.
But then I got to thinking, you know, we do have the UB dental van. We do have
Oh, yeah,
Linsong.
yeah.
So those are mobile units. So why don't we incorporate them into what we're doing to bring more services to the rural populations? And then I started calling around, doing a little investigating, and I found out that Roswell has a mobile unit. The Eddie van, very big, very colorful, very useful. And so I did a little more researching, because I thought, well, if we have all this, why don't we have something that is specific, like to the veterans or something? Well, they did. I just didn't know about it. So I did some investigating there, but their mobile units were rather new. So that's why we hadn't really heard or seen of them in this area. The closest one at the time when I started looking for them was down in Columbus, Ohio. And God bless them, they said, you know, if you really need us, we'll see. And I was going, okay. So
The foot is in the
the
door.
foot is in the door. So something happened there, and instead of me having to invite them, Erie, Pennsylvania, got one. And so this is the first year they came out to Brockton School, and they brought their van, and their van is for veterans and their families, and it is mainly geared towards the mental health care of the families and the veterans when they come back.
Okay.
So they have this wonderful van. They work with the veterans, and with that van coming, then we also opened the door to a new program called VA Caregivers, and they came. And then we also had the Veterans Administration from Buffalo, and then Erie, Pennsylvania, and then the Dwyer program here.
Dwyer, we're familiar
So
with him.
now the symposium is bringing together a lot of veterans organizations so that we can assist them better
Yeah,
also. So this is fantastic. It's growing. Every year it grows. Every year something else happens. More come in. And so this year we just went ahead and took over the whole school and the parking lot. And next year we have to take over, is it the AMVETS? Is that right next door to them? Or the American Legion?
Oh,
So
yeah, I know
we
what
had
you mean, up there
we
in
had
the
a
hill.
little meeting with them. And so now, because people aren't willing to rent their yards for parking space, we're going to be utilizing them and probably having a shuttle. But they're going to be more involved in the event also.
Okay,
this is
so
good.
let me ask you a question
Yes.
now. So do you have your own mobile unit, or are you just collaborating with other mobile units?
I'm collaborating with mobile units. No,
So-
my only mobile units are Durango. It's not big enough.
Okay, all right, so you're basically orchestrating other organizations
Yes,
to
and
work
we
together.
all come together.
All right, so let me jump over to Matt, if I may, and then we'll get to the ladies in the middle. I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it anyways. So Matt, what is your mobile unit comprise?
So our mobile unit is a 36-foot Ford, and it has 2 rooms in it that are exam rooms. Our mobile unit is registered as an Article 28, which basically means that we can provide all healthcare services on that mobile unit. So basically it's an extension of our physical buildings, so our providers can perform clinical duties off of that mobile unit.
So give me like a couple examples of what you would do, like physicals and things like that.
Everything. We also, the unit came with a couple of standardized chairs, and we have since bought some universal chairs. I know that's not the right term, but it allows us to do everything from women's health care to dental.
Okay.
So
it's
if you can,
multi-purpose kind of
so
thing.
it's multi-purpose. We can, and then I also want to say Mental Health Month, that we can use it for mental health clinics as well, because that is part of our services.
Okay,
too.
so describe to me what a mental health clinic would be on your mobile unit.
Mental health clinic would be us working with a partner to come to their site and just to market what we would be doing as far as a mental health clinic, establishing patients with our providers, and using those 2 rooms, which can be privatized on that
Okay, confidential.
for confidentiality, and bring mobile health and mental health care to the patients instead of them coming to us. And that would be able to work with just about all of our services.
All right, so let me continue with that idea. So if you have this van, it pulls up to Brockton, since you're talking Brockton. So you got 2 different rooms, and so if it's mental health awareness, whatever, you might have some counselors, drug counselors, mental health counselors, psychiatrists. Who are these people?
Yep, everyone from our clinical psychiatrists and mental health MDs who are in the mental health field, all the way down to our LSMWs, which are the licensed social medical, licensed social workers that are with us too.
Okay.
So all levels of mental health care. We do have a couple of mental health providers that also do medical assisted treatment for addiction services too. So we have the gamut of services.
Okay, now I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I try to pretend I'm on the other side of this camera. So I'm sitting here listening to y'all talk, and I'm going, I'm not going on that van. If I gotta go anywhere near that van, someone's gonna say I'm cuckoo, or I have a drug problem, or you know, they're watching. You know, there's my privacy. So how do you get around that?
So that is a very, very difficult thing to work with, and it's a lot of building trust in our community. And some people you're not going to persuade to get on that vehicle, unfortunately. But for us, we're a federally qualified health center. We have to strictly follow all of the rules of HIPAA for keeping people's privacy, just like any other doctor's office, like any other medical provider. We take that very seriously. I would like to say that we're even under more strict regulations because we are federally funded and we are a federally run facility. So we try to build and maintain that trust. We're trying to use the medical unit in a way that we can help those that are coming to our county, like refugees, our migrant workers. We have a huge migrant population in the North County.
Lakeshore area,
and we are cultivating relationships with organizations like the Chautauqua Opportunities, Inc. that does have their migrant services. And that's another way to build that trust, is to work with somebody that already has the trust of those populations.
Right. Don't reinvent it.
Amish communities, luckily our CEO Mike Pease and his wife Amy Pease, from their medical background, have a lot of trust within the Amish communities around the county. There are some challenges to us because we are under, as a federally qualified health center, if we're going to see patients, we can't just drive into a community and do a pop-up medical facility. We have to make plans to have that partner for a long-term time, which is what we are working on with Brockton along with the symposium, because we don't want to go into a community, provide health care for one day, pull out of there at the end of the day and leave our patients hanging.
Absolutely.
So we have to at least build a monthly schedule when we do that. Right now, Judy has helped us to get an in with Casadega Valley Central Schools, possibly providing a mobile day per month, as well as with Abbey Reformed Church in Clymer. Which is another huge Amish population to reach, and rural population. So that's how we try to build that trust, and it's not always easy, but if you have some ins with the communities, that's very helpful too.
Okay, back to Judy. So it sounds to me like you had this idea, you built on it, collaborated, drew some groups together, and now you're providing some services in the beginning stages.
Right.
All right, and the goal is the whole county, or just the rural county?
It's the rural parts of the county is what I'm really concerned about, because when I look at Dunkirk and Jamestown, people are at least within walking distance if they can't get a ride.
Right.
If you look at the rural communities, they're not. They just can't. A lot of people don't have family they can depend on anymore, or public transportation. Medicaid transportation is there if they have Medicaid and if there's availability for the ride. So we're looking at a lot of different things. I'm trying to get them all pulled together, and I slip up sometimes and get ahead of myself, and I think I got this, and I don't. And then I have my crew here that pulls me back in. But but I can dream. I can dream of what we want to have here in the county. And when he mentioned Abbey Reformed, what was really cool about that, we had our first event there last October. There were 2 Amish women who came in who had their first ever breast exams, ever, and they were in their mid-50s.
Oh
so we did reach out to them, we did get to them, they did get the help that they needed and wanted, and it opened a door. You know, they know now in that particular Amish community it's not as scary as what everyone thought,
Right.
because 2 of the ladies did it. They came out okay, everything was fine, nothing was shared with anybody,
Right.
and they have that trust is building now. And now Abbey Church is wanting to know, well, what day are we coming back next October? What are we going to
Good.
do this? And,
Good.
and how are we going to set
Baby
up
steps,
a
yeah.
monthly
Good for you.
event, you know, or something for Chautauqua Center to come in with their vehicle. So this will be fantastic.
Okay, I'd like to move on to Melanie, who's the recipient of all these services and representative of Brockton Central School. So, Director of Special Ed, how in the world did you get involved with all this?
Right, right.
Why am I here?
So, being the director of special education in a small school, I actually cover a lot of different domains in my job. And one of them is to oversee our mental health team. And I was noticing with Judy, we had a partnership where if there were individual student families that needed support, I could reach out to Judy. She could help my individual families. Then we got to talking. We're both big dreamers, and we both have big ideas. And I said, okay, I'm on board with this symposium. This hits at the core of everything we're seeing. More families reaching out about needing mental health supports for their children in a therapeutic way, which really isn't how school-based counseling or social work is supposed to work, but we were getting maxed out with that level of therapeutic care. And so we partnered with Chautauqua County Mental Hygiene, and we have someone in our school 4 days a week, Susan Roberts, who helps a lot of our families, but we still need more. And so Judy has been able to bring in those resources and assist us in reaching more of our families with more services. And it makes a world of difference in a child's education when they are physically and mentally well. Then they are prepared to learn. If they are not physically and mentally well, you can't get to the learning portion of their day. So when children are dysregulated on a significant level, whether that's their mental wellness or their physical wellness, they're not going to have the same positive school outcomes as if they were having all of their needs met.
Okay, so what service do you use when these all folks show up? I mean, do they go to the mobile unit or?
Yes, we have had families attend the mobile units. We've had families come and listen to the speakers. We've had families come and say, hey, I heard this at the symposium. Can you link me up with Judy or with another service provider? Ideally, we would love for it to grow so we could have more help available, medical help and mental health available for our students and families on the regular. So we're taking those small steps to build our relationship with service providers so that we can broaden the scope of what we're able to offer our students and families.
I don't even know why I'm going to say this, but I'm going to try my best to say it because I don't want to sound like just any, a common phrase. But my experience when I was in education was each year it seemed to me the family unit was getting stressed more and more. And there's a myriad of reasons, all right? But I think after the pandemic, it just brought families crushingly down. And have you sensed that in your worlds?
Absolutely. It has highlighted the need for, in these small rural communities, it's highlighted the need for schools to be the hub for families and communities. And that's why it's so important for us when we say at Brockton that we focus on the whole child and the needs of the whole child and meeting them where they're at. It doesn't just mean within these school walls, it means beyond that. And so these relationships that we develop with families and students and agencies really have started to help mitigate some of the effects of the pandemic.
So how many years are you into this project for Brockton?
We've been with them from the beginning, so 2018
All right.
since then.
So success stories?
I think so, for sure.
Good.
Even if you just look at the amount of people in attendance, which has increased substantially from our first year, which we had 110 people in person,
Wow.
to over 300.
300 people?
In this most
Serious?
recent year, yes.
Wow.
Yes. We're reaching people, and people are hearing about the supports that are out there, and they're taking advantage of it.
Okay. People don't realize how rural Chautauqua County is. Okay, I live in Ripley, and I have one neighbor because I live on the escarpment. During the pandemic, think about it for a minute. You know, we almost forgot about the pandemic. I think we do. And think how isolated we all were. Masks, don't talk to each other, don't go to the supermarket, don't go to the restaurant, don't go to church, don't. And then everybody started getting onto virtual realities and social media, and we just kind of got pulled into our caves, into our worlds. And not good things happen when we do that. We need human contact and touch, and weird things can happen in the mind and so forth, and scare tactics and things. So good for you guys, and I hope you can duplicate that, replicate that, you know, throughout the county. And I'm glad to hear that you're in Cassadaga and Clyburn. You know, these are, I've known all these communities over the years. As I was telling you, I work for BOCES in both ends of the county, so these are all my friends, all my people that I knew over time. And you get some families where the parents, you know, are maybe only in their late 20s, and they got kids that are, you know, like 7, 8, 9 years old. You know, the old joke is there's no book that was written for some of this stuff. We don't even know what the book would even say now, because things are so different. I mean, it used to be, you know, do this, and this is what my parents did, and it sort of worked. But there's no. It's all different. It's a new world here, and especially with social media and everything else, you know, the bullying and all that stuff. So good for you. We'll come back to you in a minute. Let's go to Jane, who is a service provider. So who are you with, Jane?
I am with Prime Care Coordination. We are one of the care coordination organizations that provide care management services for children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Okay, I've never heard of your organization before. Did it go by a different name at one point?
No, we have always been Prime Care Coordination. Back before 2018, July 1st, 2018, Medicaid service coordinators were in all of the non-for-profit organizations in the communities, the ARCs, providers like that. And then 2018, the state pulled all of those Medicaid service coordinators out and put them into care coordination organizations.
All right.
And it was done with the intention of making more of a choice for people. Prime Care, we kind of consider ourselves the mom and pop of the care coordination organizations. We try to reach individuals just one at a time, and that's why we're such a good partner with Judy. We try to focus on the rural communities, that the individuals who don't have the access, they don't know what they don't know. So when we set up a table there and you talk about, you know, over 300 people coming in, each year our referral line, we just get more and more people calling in. What are you? What can I do? I have no idea where to start. And it really starts for them for just calling our 844 number. And that enters them into the world of the eligibility. We help them get eligibility for care management services. And once they get that eligibility, it's the care manager's job to help connect them with all of these different organizations that are out there. You know, we talk about transportation, we talk about health needs. All of these individuals just have such a need for that kind of thing, and the care manager is going to help link them with those. And that's kind of the other side to this coin. It helps these symposiums help our care managers learn about different organizations out there. When I go to them, I can talk to the different providers as well as offering what we have to individuals. I can also go back and offer to our care managers the services that are out there. So an individual is going to get a care manager who is very localized to them, living in their community, to help link them.
Okay, so people come to you. What are the top 2 issues in your mind? And you know, it could be just whatever tops.
Transportation and healthcare. They just, like Judy said, they've never had certain exams. It might be scary. It might be against what their moral beliefs are. So those are 2, and we all know that, you know, in the long run, people spend less money if you keep up, you know, with your health care and keep on top of things. And transportation, we were talking about before, has just been decades
So the
and decades.
outreach with the mobile unit is a preferred solution for them.
The mobile units have just been invaluable
Okay.
to us.
I'm going to ask the question again, but I'm going to ask Melanie maybe in a little different way. Top 2 issues in mental health at Brockton Central School, or any school?
I think that the stressors of the pandemic have led to difficulty with coping strategies, relationship strategies, being able to navigate some of those softer skills and relationships. So that's kind of one big topic with some little factions to it. But that's what we're seeing is students having difficulty navigating those terrains and those relationships with others.
So give me a case scenario. Can you, off the top of your head?
Well, you might see a child who internalizes a lot, who's withdrawn, and you have to figure out what might be happening to get them to engage in schoolwork, and that's the first line of intervention. Our teachers being aware of the signs of trauma and adverse childhood conditions and different things like that. So they can intervene, they can make a referral to our mental health team or to myself, and then we can help enact some partnerships. So maybe that child is suffering from depression or anxiety or something like that, then we can get them into both short-term counseling with our social workers to help with the school aspect of it, or longer term, depending on the individual situation, but also make those referrals to those agencies so that students and families can get the deeper therapeutic, more medical help that may be behind some of those diagnoses.
Okay, Matt, ready? So the person on the other side of the screen is sitting going like, I'm not taking my kid. They're not going to put my kid on pills and meds and pump crap into their system. What's your response?
So the response, and I'm not a medical doctor, but our response is to work with the parents and with the child or the youth to figure out what is best for them. Anytime you go and see a physician or a provider, that provider ethically is supposed to guide you along on your health journey, and never really force you along on your health journey. And so what I would say to those patients or potential patients or people who are watching us right now is that that's ethically how our mental health providers especially, but all of our providers do deal with patients. And you know, that's the thing for me when I first started at the Chautauqua Center, and I'm still working on it because it's taking a long time to develop, but is, like I said before, building that trust. And in the state of healthcare marketing now, you're trying to build that trust before someone even sets foot in your location. And a lot of that does fall to me to do that. When I'm looking at my website or when I'm looking at the way that I'm marketing, I'm always, my two big things right now are empowerment for somebody's own healthcare, to empower you, which is an answer to your question as well. You're empowered to take control of your health care, become more medically literate, and then as well as to help you try and feel comfortable when you come to our facilities.
So let me see if I translate what you just said. Basically, come in, let's talk. You have the right in decision making, whether you want to have medication, if you want to have therapy, if you even want to come back, it's okay.
Actively.
And if you want to come back in 6 months, that's fine, change your mind, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing, yeah.
And that's too where if you have a care manager along with you for the ride, that's that trusted person. It's somebody that the individual, the family, the child, the adult has gotten to know. And when they do make a recommendation, it supports the schools. It very often supports what the schools are saying. Yes, you know, go try this, go here. And they trust that person. They've worked with them for an extended period of time. So that's where the care management piece also can be very
I would imagine,
valuable.
going back to Melanie now, that there's got to be a lot of discussion across agencies with that family, that child, that whatever, right? Because it's way easy to get out of step with each other and say, no, they need medication, no, they don't, you know, blah, 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 blah. you know, you got to make sure you're on the same page. You know?
Really is a team approach. You can't do any of it in isolation. Schools can't do the work we need to do without the support of agencies, and I think agencies need the schools to be on board so that we can partner and follow through with what the student needs in our setting as well.
I remember you used to have like sign-offs for parents. So does the parent have to sign off that they agree to have your services with the child?
Well, once we refer, then that, you know, goes to the agency.
Yes, there are, yes, they have to give their consent.
Right.
It's all part of the process.
Okay, see where I'm going with
And
this isn't a forced issue.
It is not a forced issue, and it's an opt-out. It's not a for-life thing, and so many people, especially with history, you know, with intellectual and developmental disabilities, it's had quite a history and quite a stigmatizing, and you know, in the last couple of decades, it's really tried to remove itself from that. I have supported people as a care manager in my career who've gone on and gotten their associates, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees. This is not something, care management in our system is not going to limit them from doing what they need to do. It's just going to provide the supports to let them live as independently as possible, whatever that means for them.
Okay, Matt.
I just want to, and to show how we all do work together, a quick example, like with Jane, we might work with having our patients work with her because we do care coordination in-house, but our care coordinators can only help patients that have 2 comorbidities or more, and there could be certain age requirements for that as well. And so where Jane might be able to help a broader audience of patient when it comes to that. And then the other thing I just want to say about the symposium and about the mobile medical health gathering that we do is that it's a great, not only do we reach the general public, but it's a great way for those of us who are providers. It's a great way, I like to call it an industry event. It's a great way for us all to get together at least once a year, see what's new, see what services are out there, how we can work together. Like you said, Chautauqua County is just the land of partnerships.
Absolutely.
And I try to keep the Chautauqua Center in at least 50 groups, agencies, commissions. PJ Wendell will probably not forgive me if I don't say I'm a member of the health board for Chautauqua County as well.
Okay.
So as a medical center, I try to keep us involved in my hands in a little bit of everything. So that is definitely another positive for the symposium and us getting together for that. And, you know, I won't be able to, and I can't say enough about how we all get together. There are plenty of patients, there are plenty of clients to go around.
Unfortunately.
You know, sometimes when you're in marketing, you tend to look at your competitors, and I mean, with what we need to provide to the community, we can't compete. We have to partner up, and we have to do.
And when I can go back and provide my care managers with over 70 different opportunities for them to connect at an event like this, and just say, okay, ran into this for mental health, ran into this for addiction, ran into this resource, it's just invaluable.
Okay, Judy, tough question. You ready?
Oh boy.
Define mental health. What do you mean by mental health? You know, we're talking about it, but what is mental health? Or what's good mental health? Or bad mental health? You can go either side.
Okay.
Or anybody.
In my opinion, for me, good mental health is being at peace within myself, and knowing that the decision I'm making is right for me, but also knowing that the decision I'm making for me may not be right for her. You know, we each have our own path, we each have our own things that help us and that calm us, we each have our own worries, we each have our own demons to battle, and with children especially. My heart goes out to children because I deal with children who are being trafficked in the county. I deal with children who have severe abuse issues.
We've talked about this.
And
yeah.
I deal with grandparents who are now parents to 2- and 3-year-olds, and they're lost because they're not used to the issues that these children are facing. So good mental health is what's good for you, and if you feel that you're slipping or you feel that you're wanting to just be alone and just crawl back into that hole that we were into in COVID, then you might want to reach out to somebody.
Yeah. On my way over here, I was trying to think as I was growing up, and I don't know how you were, but I don't know how the heck we got through our teenager years. And I think that's probably a prime group, I suspect that maybe you are working with, because it's a tough time, hormonally and socially and virtually and everything. So, well, thank you for that. Someone mentioned 844. What is that? Is it a hotline or what is it?
Our referral number is 1-844-347-3168. And that's the number that somebody just needs to call to start the process to get care management.
All right, so they always say, Matt, in a good TV show, you repeat the phone number 3 times.
3 times.
So 844-347-3168. Okay, and we're going to say that one more time, folks, before. And always remember, those that are watching the show right now, we're on YouTube. And if you can't remember everything we're talking about today, you can go back and use this like a reference library. Okay, so we have some slides, I think, something. So do you want to roll those whenever you're ready, Chris? And you can talk about all this as you go along.
Okay. On these slides, what I did was I put together the service providers and the agencies that have been involved with the symposium from beginning till now. So we've added these 4 here. They're very good now. This past year I had sponsors, and they were our sponsors. So we have the Chautauqua Center on there. They were one of our service providers.
Right, I saw Allegheny Health Network.
Yes,
okay, yeah. Roswell.
Roswell and Cancer Services. They bring the big colon. It's very interesting, and people learn a lot.
Yeah.
The big colon, yes. You got to come see the
I've been
big
there.
colon.
No, I don't need to go there again. I just had that done. Yole.
And these, like, we even have other counties that come in to help our county, so this is wonderful. And then they also know that the service providers that are up here can go to their county. Most of the service providers can go to various counties. Some of them are just like part of Western New York.
Okay,
yes,
yeah,
some cover all of Western New York.
I'm looking at a lot of agencies we've had on the show.
Oh,
here.
yeah. And we have the schools that come from these counties that come to the symposium. They can either attend virtually or come in person. So it's not just Chautauqua County. It is the surrounding counties as well as down into Warren, PA, and Erie, PA.
Okay. Okay, we've got our caller. Can we take a call?
Certainly.
Okay, Chris. Morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Linda Spalding.
Hi, Lynn.
Just a quick hello.
Hi.
Thank you for being, I want to say thank you to all your guests. You do wonderful work. And just a reminder, our Kentucky Derby party at the VFW in Mayville, sponsored by the Lions Club, is tonight at 5:30.
Okay.
See you at post time.
And they're off. All right, thanks, Lynn. Talk to you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Wow, you got a lot of colleagues here.
We do.
Okay, well, we must be done. Okay, so we got there's more. We got a minute left, so let's go real quick. Matt, any final words?
For our services, I put out our phone number, 716-484-4334. 484-4334. And that is the central number to call us to set up appointments for all of our services. We have a menu. You can become a new patient, an old patient can get directed to where they want to go. But that's how you plug into our services and
Chautauqua Center
and find that.
Okay, Melanie, Brockton Central School.
Yes, if any families in the Brockton Central School District have any questions, or if any school districts have questions about how they can get this going in their school, be happy to answer their questions.
Perfect.
By calling 716-792-2132.
And Jane?
They can connect with us on our website, primecareny.org, as well as calling the 1-844-347-3168 number.
That's the third time for that one. And Judy, you get the last wrap up.
I want to thank all the service providers that have made this possible and have gone out in the communities and visited with people and let people know that they are there to assist.
Okay, so help is on the way, folks, and this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're going to be talking about this again next week from a little different angle. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. Keep up the good work, because we need it here. Folks, we're done for another week, so I hope you're having a great weekend. The weather should be halfway decent, and seriously, if you need any of these services, don't be a knucklehead. Ask for help. They're out there, and it sounds like they'll come to you. So take care. Have a great weekend. We'll do this all again next week. Happy birthday, Justin.